Hey guys, Anime-kun here. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top 10 anime about the afterlife. The afterlife really is an interesting topic, differing in its form or requisites for you to enter, and sometimes an afterlife in the anime is totally a different field from the one we have right now with current beliefs. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos about anime. So, without further ado, let's begin.
糸を解けば私と正式に契約を交わしたことになる。恨みの相手は速やかに地獄に流されるわ。
Want revenge against someone? Rumor has it that there is a website that lets you get revenge against your most loathsome enemies. This website, known as Hell Correspondence, is only accessible at the stroke of midnight, and whichever name that gets submitted will get a visit from Ienma, the Hell Girl. This Hell Girl will then give the client a straw doll with a red string wrapped around its neck. Pulling the string will complete the contract, and I and her helpers will send the target's soul to hell. This contract has a catch, however. The client that plotted revenge with the use of the website will also end up in hell when they die. For some people, this is a steep price to pay. For others, this is a price they are willing to pay in order to bring about hell to their adversaries. Through all this, one thing is certain: the Hell Girl will be there to enact their revenge.
罪に溺れ執行のためいっぺん死んでみる？あなたがみんなを殺したんですか?
For those who are more inclined to religious belief, God is the source of all life, and all life shall return to him after their worldly travels. What happens now that God has abandoned the world? From the abandonment of his creation came the fact that life cannot end, nor can new life be born, and the dead walk restlessly among the living. The final miracle God granted, before turning away forever in response to that, are gravekeepers, mystical beings capable of putting the dead to rest through a proper burial, one of which is I, a cheerful but naive young girl, serving as her village's gravekeeper in place of her late mother. One day, a mysterious man known as Hampney Hambert, who is supposedly I's father, arrives and kills all the people in her village. From such a random tragic event in an already tragic world, and having lost her village, and with no plans for the future, I decides to accompany the mysterious man on his journey, striving to fulfill her duties of granting peace to the dead and assisting the living, while at the same time trying to learn more about the world that God left in a sorry state.
だいたいお前これからどうする気だ？
私は墓守ですから。
お前は墓守じゃねえよ。
何電話切ってんの？告白は？玉砕は？
延期でもないこと言うな。こういうのはタイミングが大事なんだよ。いいか、よく聞けよ。人というものの告白ってのはな、会って直接じゃないとダメなんだよ。
There are just some things that we are unable to say while we are still alive, and some are laid beneath the ground without those words floating out to the open air. Whenever these things happen, there are shigefumi. These letters are carried from the world of the dead to the world of the living, born from a person with strong emotions that died, whether their feelings are of love, longing, or resentment. It is the quiet and mysterious Fumika's job to deliver these messages from the departed, serving as some sort of mail delivery service between the living and the dead. Along with her talking magic staff Kanaka, she ensures that each shigefumi reaches its intended recipient, even if that person does not want to face the reality of its contents. As someone who treads the line of life and death in her realm of work, Fumika witnesses the tragedies of people, both dead and alive, and sees their deepest secrets revealed. What is unclear, and is a persisting question, however, are the details of Fumika's past. Who was she before she came to be a carrier of shigefumi? How did she become one? And did she have the same secrets at the end of the day?
うるさい！綾瀬は俺のロケットを信じてくれた。だから俺も信じる。行こう綾瀬。こんな奴の相手を。
あの困ったさんはどこの？
あれが桃太郎ってやつです。
Ever wondered how the afterlife is managed? We don't really know about heaven, but as far as this anime is concerned, hell is a bureaucracy, only that business is running smoother than has ever been thanks to the demonic efficiency of Hizuki, chief deputy to Lord Enma, the king of hell. Whether the task is offering counsel to the Momotaro of Japanese folklore or receiving diplomatic missions from the Judeo-Christian hell, the demon who runs the show from behind is ready to beat down any challenge back to hell, pun somehow intended. The poster boy for micromanagement and armed with negotiation skills that makes Demon Wall Street shake, the sadistic and level-headed Hizuki spends his everyday troubleshooting hell. Well, what else could be more hellish than the problems of hell itself? With an abundance of familiar faces from Japanese legends and East Asian mythology working middle management positions like some hellish office, pun once more intended, this referential and anachronistic dark comedy brings new meaning to the phrase employer liability. Just how hellish could it be to manage employees from hell, anyway?
エンマだよ、私有給いただきますよ。
クリスタルな等しく2個目でしょ。1個ちょうだいよ。
嫌です。ご自分で当ててください。
じゃあわしも連れてけよ。
絶対嫌です。
Kurosaki Ichigo is a high school student who can see ghosts. Ever since he was a child, he has been able to see spirits from the afterlife. This normal life of his becomes thrust into the world of the Shinigami when he and his two sisters are attacked by an evil, tormented spirit known as a hollow. In this incident, he meets Kichiki Rukiya, who is a soul reaper trying to protect Ichigo and his family. However, Rukiya sustains an injury and has to transfer her powers to Ichigo in order to defeat the hollow. He accepts, and this begins his story as a soul reaper. He takes Rukiya's place in hunting down hollows that pop up in their town. With this, Kurosaki Ichigo has to prove that he's up to the task of being a Shinigami, helping maintain the balance between the world of the living and the world of the dead. As the scars in the battlefield continue to accumulate for Ichigo and his comrades, this newly instated part-time soul reaper soon discovers that the hollows are not the only real threat to the human world.
ねえ黒崎くん、これは一体。
井上、なんだよこれ。
記憶置換だ。今夜の事件の記憶を消して代わりを入れておいた。よっしょ。
Now we talk about angels. Or are they? The Haibana is a group of mysterious children and young adults who differ from the regular human inhabitants of the city in the way they are born, by erupting from cocoons in the presence of halos and wings like that of an angel, only that they are called Haibana or charcoal feather because of their grayish wings rather than pure white. None really know how and why are there Haibana, but most of the group somehow has a form of recollection on their existence before their awakening in the city, although none can remember any concrete details about it. The only ones who would have some form of knowledge on the Haibana are the Renmei, a group of mysterious masked travelers who live at the very edges of the walled city and are the only ones allowed to go in and out of the city compared to its other inhabitants. The anime follows Raka's story, a girl who dreamed of an endless fall before awakening, and of those around her, as they live their lives with no memories of the past, while trying to break free from their former pain and ultimately find salvation in a vastly unknown world.
その願い、この宿が確かに聞き届けた。
Yato is a minor deity who has large aspirations. He dreams of having millions of followers, but this seems far-fetched as he does not have even a single shrine to his name. Now widely forgotten, and without a proper shrine, the god Yato is forced to take on odd jobs in order to one day become a recognizable god with shrines and followers. In one of these mundane requests, he gets saved from a speeding truck by a high school girl named Yayori. However, this results in her being taken to the hospital. And even worse, from then on, she becomes frequented with inconvenient out-of-body experiences, wherein her soul literally separates from her physical body. Deciding that this troublesome habit is something she can't live with, she begs Yato and pays him to restore her back to original form, introducing her to a world that is outside our reality. This begins their journey together to return Hiyori back to normal, and in order to bring Yato back to relevancy.
宿神だ。
雇神？
そんな神様聞いたことありません。ただの一度も。
自分が誰かもわからないし、病院にでも行くよ。
病院なんてないわよ。
え？どうして？
誰も病まないから。
病まないって？
みんな死んでるから。
え？
When we think of the afterlife, we think of peace. That might also be the expectation of Yuzuru Otonashi, but as he was informed that this was the afterlife, such happened through an explanation of a girl named Yuri while firing a rifle, explaining that she is the leader of the afterlife battlefront waging war against a girl they call Tenchi. In disbelief that a seemingly innocent defenseless girl is evil, he attempts to speak to her only to get stabbed and revived in the school infirmary. Being the odd one out who went into the afterlife without memories, Otonashi decides to join the afterlife battlefront to battle Tenchi, but oddly finds himself drawn to her and wanting to understand her. Trying their best to rebel and not have their existence graduate in the afterlife, they continue to break all the rules and battle Tenchi, but with a slight change of interactions from Otonashi that might just be the start of their discovery as to what this afterlife school really is.
当たった！そんな足でよかったのに。もう十分じゃないか。もう
ガードスキル、ハンドソニック。
お二人はすでに他界されています。人間は死後、天国か地獄へ送られることになっています。その裁定のためにクイーンデキムは存在しています。そして同時刻帯に亡くなったお二人のみ、ここへお招きする決まりがあるのです。
Heaven or hell is the common question. The unusual occurrence is that in Death Parade is that, first, only couples who died together reach the Quindesum bar as attended by Decim, who serves as the arbiter of the games. Second, the games where these couples are challenged to a life-threatening game, as if they're not yet dead to begin with. Then again, there's the stake of the game where only one of them gets to be reincarnated, while the other is sent to the void, never to see the light of any form of existence ever again. In essence, it's more of a soul-threatening thing as the games dig up and reveal the patron's true nature. Such is the way of Decim in the Quindesum bar up until the appearance of another girl that he takes in as an assistant, without any form of recollection about her past, yet very vocal on her emotions and opinions. Starting to notice a thing about amnesiacs, huh? Just kidding.
それでは、いってらっしゃいませ。
誰も玲子のことが理解できなかった。玲子はいつも一人だった。いつも一人だった。
一人。
Being alone is something we are all probably familiar with. While it's a feeling we're all familiar with, Natsume has it rough, especially for being called weird and creepy by others, as he can see yokai unlike them. He soon discovers, though, that his grandmother named Reiko had passed on to him the Book of Friends or the Yuujinchu, which is the names of the spirits his grandmother defeated, and is under her control. The Book of Friends is powerful as the user can take command of the spirits whose name is in this book. This is why these beings called yokai haunt Natsume in hopes of getting their names back. While Natsume feels alone dealing with these yokai by himself, he met a fat cat that decided to stick with Natsume as his bodyguard. This anime is quite an interesting slice of life series despite having a supernatural background, and while we have unique experiences and circumstances in life, it shows us that eventually we are not alone, and there will always be someone out there you can connect with.
夏目殿、名を返していただきたい。
ごめん。今日は眠いからまた今度な。相変わらず煩わしいことの多い日々。
And that's all the anime we have for today. Which kind of anime afterlife do you want to wind up in? Do you know more anime regarding the afterlife? Why not drop them in the comments section below? If you want to see more anime content, make sure to subscribe and give this vid a thumbs up. Stay tuned and I will see you guys soon.